Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Will Butter here. It's uh, it's 12:56 a.m. on October 25th, and remember my video "Black Box Drugs Kill"? It was about this girl I knew in high school, and she unfortunately died from the use of antidepressants, which was Lexapro. And well, today is her birthday. October 25th is her birthday, and today she would have been 24, and it's depressing that she'd be gone for just about 7 years this year. So I figured, well, my video, Black Box Drugs Kill, it was a Facebook post her mom posted about the effects Lexapro had on her daughter, and caused it caused her death. And well, just about a week ago, she posted another thing, this extraordinarily thing that happened, and I figured I'll just read it to you guys. I'll share it on my channel. And this is her Facebook post. Okay, here's what it says. Fate is inevitable. It's amazing how often we are in the right place at the right time. We often attribute these moments to coincidences, but I truly believe a higher purpose is forever guiding us from beyond, a force that is powerful and good, and is rarely heard or seen, only felt. One day in a hair salon, I met a woman who was struggling with her 16-year-old daughter. We started discussing our children, and somehow Katie came up. As I shared my long and very painful story, I saw the flickers of pain, fear, and relief overflow her. She stood in disbelief as I described the last few weeks of my sweet girl's life. What I didn't know is that her daughter was recently prescribed Clonopin and Zoloft. The first night on the drug, this poor kid suffered a sore throat, an overall feeling of malaise, and she started to hallucinate. Now, this young lady went to her mother with the symptoms. The doctor, however, did not warn either of them of the dangerous side effects, or let them know that he chose a black box drug that is not approved by the FDA for teenage use. It is very commonly reported that doctors don't share these side effects because they are afraid it will deter compliance with the prescribed drug therapy. They are not legally obligated to make parents aware of this fact, and a bill requiring doctors to inform parents has been rejected every year. Not surprising, as our pharmaceutical industry funds many politicians and controls the agenda. Any of you who doubt this are naive and truly believe in a democratic government that does not exist. This woman met me and got very lucky. Not every family gets lucky, but this one did. I explained to her the vicious cycle, one she never considered, because she trusted her practitioner as I did. But this is it. A doctor prescribed a child antidepressants, anti-anxiety, or mood stabilizers. The doctor basically is telling an impressible teen, you are sick. You need medicine. Now, what part of their body is sick to these kids? Their brain, of course. So they are basically convinced that their brain is not functioning properly. Now, when the medication has side effects, naturally, these kids believe that these are symptoms of their malfunctioning brain. As hallucinations, depression, and panic get worse, they internalize this behavior and become ashamed. They don't discuss it and become isolated, lonely, depressed, and hopeless. This is the cycle. I watched it with my own eyes, and I was uninformed and helpless to stop it. There may be some children or teens who actually suffer from a chemical imbalance. However, it's never been proven. We can't measure the neurotransmitters in the brain, so prescription is always based on a hypothesis, which means an educated guess. Often children are so impressionable, they feel better just because they think the pill is helping them. It's called a placebo effect. A body reacts to what the mind believes. Either way, doctors prescribing extremely dangerous drugs to our population of youth based on an educated guess seems very scary to me. I may sound like a broken record, but if it saves lives, then my efforts are not in vain. If your child is prescribed any medication that affects moods, chemicals, or behavior, please monitor them carefully. Let them know that any unusual symptoms can be caused by medication that is supposed to make them better. The woman took my number, and this is very, very something. You got to hear this. So this woman took her number. Hours later, reported that her daughter had been contemplating suicide, and truly didn't understand what was happening to her. She thought she was losing her mind and didn't want to live in this pain any longer. She didn't share her pain or fears with anyone. She was suffering alone. I think about my Katie. She was such a special kid. I was going through a tough time in my life, and I believe deep inside she didn't want to stress or burden me with her concerns. She was incredibly independent and responsible, and often she worried more about me than herself. We spent many years alone together when I was a single mom. It was just she and I, and she learned to put her needs aside and sacrifice at times. She was a one-in-a-million kid. Not just because she was mine. Katie just emulated beauty, confidence, and light. She lived to the fullest and brought a light with her wherever she went. She's gone, taken from me by ignorance, corruption, and greed. But I will never forget her or the impact she had on those around her. I'll especially never forget how she spent her last few weeks in agony on earth. And share with a friend that she thought she was losing her mind. She told this friend she didn't understand what she was doing anymore or why. She was out of control, scared, and helpless, living in silence alone. Our children are not only prescribed dangerous drugs, but they also have access to Xanax, Valium, opiates, and Adderall. Their cognitive portion of their brain is not developed, yet making these drugs even more dangerous. Their impulses, reactions, and critical decisions making are already underdeveloped and very vulnerable to any mind-altering drugs. Talk to your kids every day. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Don't ever say never or not my child. Any child is at risk. Don't ever be too exhausted, drained, or overwhelmed to approach your child today. Tomorrow is not always guaranteed. I'll never stop promoting awareness and change. Please do the job that most doctors aren't doing today. Please forgive me for the very scary, eye-opening advice. I wish I'd received this advice. And if it can save your children's lives, I can deal with making some parents on Facebook friends uncomfortable. Even the best kids have vulnerable moments. Our job as parents is to make sure these moments aren't their last. Hugs to all parents who have lost children due to medical negligence. I know your pain and I understand this lifelong struggle. I hope this post helps other parents become aware. Lives can be saved if we all just keep sharing. And that's all. And that is her message to every parent in the world. And in my opinion, marijuana is the way to go. Marijuana is the way to help treat depression, anxiety, all types of other kind of stuff. Marijuana is the thing. Not Xanax, not Lexapro, not antidepressants. Marijuana. Well, I hope this helps spread awareness. And thank you all for watching.